Good morning. This week's beautiful guest on my podcast is Bella Miller, and she is 24 years old, has achieved and accomplished more in 24 years than most people that I know. And we have this beautiful discussion about the responsibilities or what are the pressures that young people have today in their lives, because I am nearly 56 years old and I feel like I don't have a clue as to what young people are going through. I assume that they're having a lot of pressures, a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry because they have so much information available to them constantly. What does that mean? What does that mean for them? And how does it impact them? And how can I help them? How can we help them as elders in the tribe today? And I came across this term that I thought was so interesting because I haven't been able to put words to it. I mean, I've talked about this with so many people, and that is the need to produce, this constant need to be a value in this world. We have to produce something all the time. Like, I couldn't just sit and relax or just take a load off Annie and just contemplate life for a minute. It's like, I got to send an email. I got to make a phone call. I got to reach out to this person and say hi. Hey, how are they doing? I got to do a sales call. I've got to do a video post. I've got to get somebody lined up for the next podcast. It's like, when does it stop? When does it start? And so having this conversation with this beautiful girl, young woman who is 24, how is she impacted already by this? And this term came up across my brain yesterday from a post that I saw, a gentleman by the name of Hayden, and he is a professor in Nova Scotia, and this thing called internalized capitalism. Interesting word. Internalized capitalism, the idea that our self-worth is directly linked to our productivity. My God, there's a term for it. That's it. Internalized capitalism. Like, we can't just be. We have to do. That is the exact opposite of what I want this movement to be. This more moss to the people movement goes. How can we turn that on its head? How can we as a collective do what's ours? Like, what's mine to do? What is mine to do? What can I do? What am I really good at? What are you really good at? What are you really good at? What are you really good at? And how can we then collectively work together to get some answers, to have a better, more sound life, more sound, like the balancing, the kind of like coming back home to ourselves. How can we do more of that by engaging one another in this conversation of how can I help? How can I help the team? How can you help the team? Maybe like to self-regulate, I need to be able to go out to the forest, touch the ground, touch the soil, touch the moss in order to reconnect myself back to who I am. And maybe I don't have to be everything to everyone. Maybe young people today don't have to be everything. None of us do. What kind of responsibility is that? It's not ours. That is being boundaryless. That is not having firm boundaries in place when we feel or think that we have to be everything to everyone. That's a setup. That's part of the setup, my doll. So, yeah, Bella Miller, my beautiful guest this Friday. She has a book. She has she's a published author of a collection of poems called On Becoming. How beautiful. She's a beautiful soul. And I hope that I can count on your support. And let's think about how can we externalize instead of internalize this idea of capitalism. Let's get it out of us and just maybe decide, what are we good at and what do we want to work on, instead of doing everything. Yeah? Best to you. Have a beautiful day.